Ethan walked into the forest, seeking solace. For some reason, he felt he would find peace there. He approached a large tree and sat down, staring at his hands, lost in thought. Just then, a black, translucent digital screen appeared before him, resembling a status screen with white text, like something out of his favorite role-playing games from his childhood at the old foster home. The words on the screen read, "You have awakened the werewolf system. Your wolf genes have awakened early. The transfer of werewolf abilities from John Voss and Elena Voss will be granted to you as you are ready. Welcome to the world of lichens, Ethan Voss." Ethan's breath caught in his throat. The screen floated before him, its glow casting faint shadows on the forest floor. He blinked, half expecting it to disappear, but it remained, steady and unnervingly real. "Werewolf system? Lichens?" he muttered under his breath, his voice trembling. His hands clenched into fists, the memory of Gregory's lifeless body flashing in his mind. Was this what Sebastian meant? That he wasn't human anymore? The screen flickered, and more text appeared. "Your first task, embrace your instincts. Survive the night." "Survive the night?" Ethan whispered, his heart pounding. The forest, once a place of refuge, now felt alive with unseen threats. The rustling of leaves, the distant howl of the wind, it all seemed louder, sharper. His senses were heightened, every sound and scent amplified. Suddenly, a low growl echoed through the trees. Ethan froze, his body tensing. He turned slowly, his eyes scanning the darkness. There, in the shadows, he saw it, a pair of glowing yellow eyes staring back at him. His pulse quickened as the creature stepped into the moonlight. It was a wolf, but unlike any he had ever seen. Its fur was black as midnight, its muscles rippling with raw power. And those eyes, they were intelligent, calculating. The wolf circled him slowly, its growl rumbling like distant thunder. Ethan's instincts screamed at him to run, but something deeper within him held him in place. The screen flickered again. Challenge accepted, first transformation. "First transformation?" Ethan muttered, panic rising in his chest. Before he could process the words, a searing pain shot through his body. He cried out, falling to his knees as his bones began to shift and rearrange themselves beneath his skin. It was agony unlike anything he had ever known. Fire coursing through his veins, muscles tearing and reforming. His vision blurred as his hands twisted into claws, fur sprouting across his arms. His jaw ached as his teeth elongated into fangs. The wolf watched silently as Ethan's transformation completed itself. When the pain finally subsided, Ethan looked down at himself, no longer human, but a creature of primal strength and fury. "Transformation complete," the screen announced calmly. Ethan rose to his feet, his new feet feeling both exhilarated and horrified by what he had become. The wolf before him tilted its head curiously before letting out a low howl that echoed through the forest. And then it attacked. Ethan reacted instinctively, sidestepping the wolf's lunge with surprising speed. They clashed in a blur of teeth and claws, their growls filling the night air. Despite being new to this form, Ethan's movements were fluid and precise, as if guided by an ancient knowledge buried within him. The fight was brutal and short-lived. With a final slash of his claws, Ethan subdued the wolf, pinning it to the ground. It whimpered softly before disappearing into wisps of black smoke. The screen appeared once more. "Congratulations, first transformation mastered." Ethan stood there, panting as the reality sank in. His body shifted, and the system message appeared once more. "You can now transform into a half-wolf, half-human form at will." Ethan stared at his hands, now human again, but still trembling with the residual energy of the transformation. The forest around him felt different, alive in a way he couldn't quite explain. The trees seemed to whisper secrets, and the air carried scents he'd never noticed before: damp earth, distant prey, and something metallic: blood. He took a deep breath, trying to steady himself. The screen flickered again, displaying new text. "Next task, locate the pack. Seek out your kin. They will guide you." "A pack?" Ethan muttered, his voice rough. He had no idea where to even begin looking. The lawyer's card was still in his pocket, but he doubted that was the answer. This was something entirely different, something older, wilder. As he stood there, a faint howl echoed through the trees, distant but unmistakable. It wasn't a threat, it was a call. Ethan felt it in his bones, a pull he couldn't ignore. He started moving, following the sound without questioning why. The The forest grew denser as he walked, the moonlight breaking through the canopy in scattered patches. His senses were still heightened from the transformation, and he could feel every shift in the wind, every rustle of leaves. The howl came again, closer this time, and Ethan quickened his pace. Eventually, he reached a clearing bathed in silver light. At its center stood 3 figures, 2 men and a woman. They were tall and imposing, their presence radiating power. One of the men stepped forward, his eyes glowing faintly in the darkness. "Ethan Voss," he said, his voice deep and resonant. "We've been expecting you." Ethan tensed, instinctively shifting into his half-wolf form, his claws extended as he crouched slightly, ready to defend himself if necessary. The man chuckled softly. "Calm yourself," he said. "We're not here to fight you. We're here to teach you." The woman stepped forward next, her expression calm but sharp. "You have questions," she said. "We have answers." Ethan hesitated for a moment before relaxing his stance slightly. "Who are you?" he asked. "Your pack," the man replied simply, "or at least part of it." The third figure spoke for the first time, his voice younger but no less commanding. "You've been marked by Sebastian Voss," he said. "That makes you one of us." Ethan's mind raced with confusion. When had Sebastian marked him? What did marking even mean? Before Ethan could ask more questions, however, another message appeared on screen. "Warning, rogue lichen approaching." As if on cue, an ear-splitting roar erupted from behind them, followed swiftly by footsteps crashing through underbrush toward their position at alarming speed. Within seconds, it emerged into view, a massive lichen covered head to toe in scars with glowing red eyes, filled only with rage and hatred. It lunged straight toward Ethan without hesitation, while snarling viciously, clearly intent on tearing him apart. Ethan's senses roared to life, sharper than they had been mere moments ago. His claws extended, and he growled low in his throat, meeting the rogue lichen's gaze with a steely one of his own. One of the pack members at his side reacted immediately, a growl matching his own. Yet Ethan held up a hand, signaling him to stay back. Somehow, instinctively, he knew he had to face this one alone. Vaguely, he registered the screen as it flickered again, showing, "Task, defeat the rogue lichen." As the rogue lichen leaped at him, Ethan dodged its initial swipe with surprising agility. The two engaged in a deadly dance of claws and fangs. Ethan's senses were alive with an adrenaline he never felt before. He could hear the beast's heart pounding in its massive chest, composing a drumbeat of war that underscored their ferocious battle. He was at a disadvantage. This creature was larger and experienced. But what Ethan lacked in size and experience, he made up for with speed and unexpected bursts of strength. With a sudden move, he launched himself towards the rogue lichen, teeth bared. His claws raked across its rough hide with an impact that sent shockwaves through Ethan's forearms, but also drew first blood from the rogue. Its howl of pain fueled Ethan's resolve. He dodged another attack and retaliated with swipes of his own. Each hit he landed on his opponent was guided by instinct, precise and effective. Finally, he managed to pin down the lichen under him. His claws found the brute's throat, squeezing tight until it fell limp beneath him. The scent of victory mixed with blood filled his nostrils as his opponent's struggles ceased. The screen flickered. "Congratulations, you have defeated the rogue lichen." Ethan rose to his feet, panting heavily. He surveyed his pack members. The woman had a slightly incredulous look on her face, while the 2 men regarded him with newfound respect. As his heavy breathing calmed, new questions arose in Ethan's mind. Puzzlement over Sebastian's marking, curiosity about the pack, and confusion over the rogue lichen. But for now, he pushed those thoughts aside. His transformation back to his human form was smoother this time. He barely felt the bones and muscles shifting, rearranging themselves beneath his skin. When he looked at his hands once again human, they held no tremors. "So, I'm guessing there's more to being a lichen than just werewolf transformations," Ethan said finally, breaking the silence. The pack chuckled lightly. The one who had tried to help him before clapped him on the shoulder with a smile. "Smart man," he said. "Now let's start from the beginning." As they began to explain lichen history and tradition, Ethan listened attentively. The forest seemed a different world altogether as he took in his first lesson as a werewolf from those who were akin to family now. While there was still uncertainty and fear within him, There was an inkling of excitement, too, that of embracing this whole new world he had inadvertently stepped into.